Hey, what's up, everybody? Mike and AJ back once again. We were going to upload My Bloody Valentine. We had horrendous technical difficulties with that, so I'm sorry to everybody, but that completely fell through. We will try again on that later in the future, but for right now, we went ahead and did the movie I picked, The Rite, and we're going to go ahead and get into that. So are there any goofy, wacky trivias and facts you want to get into?
There are, but I'll insert them sporadically throughout the movie.
You will insert them in that woman kindly, sir. So,
I beg your pardon.
that's not getting edited out. So, let's see here. It's inspired by true events, apparently, according to the beginning of the video. The video, Jesus, the movie.
Do you know whom they're based on?
I do not.
Father Gary Thomas and his adventures in Rome.
He had quite the adventures from the stories that we heard. So, the opening scene is in a morgue. First and foremost with this movie, the vibe was perfect. The atmosphere they made, the color settings they used, the sounds they inserted, the music and stuff. It was a great, great made film. So, it opens up in a morgue, and the sound and look of it really reminded me of a Silent Hill game. So they're getting a body ready for burial. It doesn't say who the body is. It's this kid and his dad and
Morticians.
yeah, that's what they are. I don't know if Junior's actually wanting to be a mortician at this point or not, or if it's just Daddy making him. But the kid puts a locket on the lady's hand that looks kind of like an eyeball. So I'm going to be honest, I don't know what my notes is supposed to mean with this. It says, go home to father, wash up and eat. I did, then eat. Full capital letters. What the fuck does that mean? Okay, so you heard it first here, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, he goes home to his father to wash up and eat. I did, then eat. Do you remember what that could possibly be about?
Well, he said he already washed up.
That's right. Okay, thank you for reminding me. Okay. So the dad was like, wash up, boy. And he's like, I already did wash up. And he's like, then eat. So that's what that was. Okay. It's fun reading back on my drunk notes trying to figure out what's going on. So, anything you want to add to that?
They did say that in his family, you're either a mortician or a priest. Like, why those two?
Yeah, that's not very good. That's slim pickings right there.
But his dad did say a pretty awesome quote where he said, we serve the dead, we don't talk to them.
That was actually my next point right here, my next little note thing. Yeah, serve the dead, we don't talk to them, we don't talk about them. It brings bad things. And so, I don't remember what it was about. I think it wasn't about the lady he was talking about that with. The kid was asking something about a guy who killed himself, wasn't he?
How do you think she killed herself?
That's what it was, and the dad's like, we don't talk about the dead, it brings bad things. So then, the next scene is him going into a town, and at first, it looked like an apocalypse. It looked empty, dead, one-horse town. There was, like, nothing. And then all of a sudden, there was a bunch of people, but the way it opened and transitioned to the town, it was just completely barren, it looked like. So, and this is where it comes in. He had a talk at a boxing gym, and that's where the talk came with. Our family only has priests and morticians, and so then he goes. I don't remember much about it. He goes to a bar at this point, and he's talking to his friend, and about he wants to go to college but he can't, and then it goes to the father's house, or does it go back to his college room where it's got all the creepy, super religious crap all over the wall and stuff? It's not. It's creepy by the amount of it. There's like 50 fucking crosses on the wall.
Yeah.
I just can't remember if that's his dad's house or if that's his college room.
I think that's his seminary room.
Okay. And so then he starts writing an email saying he's leaving, you know.
Yeah, he was there for like a week or something like that.
Right. So he starts writing to Father Gabagoo or whoever the
Father
fuck.
Superior.
That's the one. Jesus Christ. And So he starts writing, it's not you, it's me. I found another, yada yada.
Lack of faith, all this kind of.
Oh, right. And he seemed like he couldn't send it at first, but then he sent it, and just a series of unfortunate events that come after this. So the next scene is him leaving, and it's rainy, right? It's dark. Is this your favorite part?
Oh my god, I love this so much.
So it's dark and rainy, and my notes exactly say priest dude chasing him to stop him in rain, fall on road. So the priest is chasing him, and he falls and causes a cyclist to get hit by a car, and this chick, the chick that's coming up, it's not funny, just the series of events leading up to it.
It shouldn't be, but I laughed.
You sick. So, this chick, she gets hit, and the main character, which I can't remember his name.
Michael.
Which
is weird.
Well, that's my name, I should have known, yeah. He walks up to the chick, and the chick is like, Father, bless me. And he's like, nah. And she's like, bless me. So, he finally starts to bless her, and she croaks, and, I'll let you add to that, since this seemed to be your favorite scene. And
it probably is my favorite scene. The guy's chasing after him. He literally trips on a curb.
Eat shit.
The wind blows his umbrella away from him in front of a car. Then the car hits the woman, and oh my god, it was hilarious.
It was just a big domino effect. I forgot that the umbrella flew and caused the wreck. I thought the truck driver just looked at him falling and wrecked or something.
No, the wind just carried it in front of the car.
Of course it did. All right, let's see here. So, right after she croaks, the father starts talking to him. Oh, that's the next scene at least. Saying that he's making a mistake by leaving and was trying to coerce him to stay. Then he got into the tough guy side. He was like, listen, if you leave, your scholarship turns into a student loan for more than $100,000, and you're going to owe us that, bitch. So he went from being like, and the guy's like, you can't do this to me. And he's like, well, I haven't done anything yet. And so he's like, all right, Jack, listen, how about you just turn into an exorcist? He said, since you're a mortician and you're not afraid of stuff, we're trying to get some exorcists built up. They're trying to get a war going on the spookies. So he gets sent to the Vatican to be trained. It's like a fucking anime training arc where he goes to get trained by the Pope. So, I know I skipped ahead quite a bit with the story.
I just think it's funny that one of the very first things he does when he arrives there is flirts with a woman.
That's true. That's right.
Like, you're trying to become a priest, like you're trying to get it in before you...
He's trying to become a priest exorcist that doesn't even believe in God. So, he's got a lot going wrong. So, it was a really cool looking training facility the Vatican had. It looked really like ultra modern, like a hint of futuristic, like it was all white and really slick looking, and they had this class sitting and showing possession footage, and some of the footage was pretty creepy, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there was some fucked up shit. So let's see here. The next note I have is the exorcist's job is to determine how many demons and what names, and they try and hide their names. Was there anything before that?
They just say the name is the thing they try to protect the most. It's the hardest to get out of them, because once you know their name, you have power over them.
Fair. That's right. Let's see here.
I believe the next thing is the guy sends him to meet Father Lucas.
Right.
Which, outside of his house, there's like 400 stray cats. Which is a foreboding for something to be revealed later.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what this note is supposed to mean. It says, for the part, it says it's talking about how he's arguing with his exorcist trainer, saying, how do you know it's not a schizophrenic episode instead of people actually being possessed?
Yeah, that's right. There's an argument, and he says, well, there's a story about this kid who ends up 400 miles from his home in Africa, and he said he was abducted by aliens. He said, what makes that any more truer than what you're saying? And all
right.
this.
So I don't know what this part of the notes mean, but before that I wrote my main character Michael. AJ said Paco or Paco. Would you have any inkling of what that might mean?
Paco.
I don't know. AJ said Paco.
I don't know. I don't remember the movie at all from last week. I had to rewatch it.
That's fair. We got a little too excited. So let's see here. So he goes to a place to meet someone to be shown, and that real life. He's going to be shown the way, and a cat jump scare happens, which made me go fuck you, because it actually got me the tiniest bit. Like, oh fuck you. And then we have Anthony Hopkins. He turns out to be the Obi-Wan Kenobi of Exorcist. I thought it was a pretty good pick for it. He was great in this movie, man.
Yeah,
He's
Father Lucas, by the way, that I mentioned.
That's him. Even though he's like 700 years old in this movie, he's got the moves, man. So the next note I have is goes into exorcism, smacks her a little 3 times, LMAO.
Oh, well, I remember that they walked in and he had a bag and he's telling this bitch, like, what's he got in the bag, bitch? And Michael's like, what are you doing? The first test to know whether someone's possessed is the test of the unknowable.
Right, that's right. What people couldn't know, exactly. So then he starts trying to exorcise her and starts smacking her in the head a little bit. And he says that it needs more than one exorcism. It doesn't happen in just one go. It needs weeks or months.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But she does say what's in the bag, which is American dollar bill.
Fair. So, next scene is he's going to get a bite to eat, and he's looking at all these fancy places, and he decides to try and go to McDonald's. And the lady he saw earlier that he was flirting with, she's like, you can't go to McDonald's in Rome. I'm going to take you to a nice place. And, let's see. I must have a big skip of my notes here, because the next one I have is locket he put on dead lady at the beginning was in his pocket, question mark.
No, that's pretty much the next note I have. Not that exactly, but that next confirmation.
Okay. So, the locket he put in the hands at the beginning, it turned out it was in his pocket here, and it felt like it just came out of nowhere. I was like, what the fuck is that? No, wait a minute. The possessed chick pulled it out of his pocket, didn't she, when he went back to...
No, he pulled it out of his pocket while he was back at the exorcism seminary place,
Right.
and he's like, what is this? So he goes back to see her, and he's asking Father Lucas, like, ask her how this got in my pocket.
And she said her dad gave her that bracelet. It was what my note had, at least.
Mi padre. Yeah.
Right. So then the possessed girl started talking about the girl who killed herself at the beginning.
Well, not the demon inside the girl.
Well, yeah. And great actors and actresses in this, by the way. I cannot stress that enough. But she starts spitting out nails that crucified Christ.
Crucifixion nails.
And as she was getting possessed, she started coughing those out. And she was pregnant, right?
Yeah.
And her dad raped her, and that's how she was pregnant?
That's what she said. It's not revealed till a little bit later, but they asked the demon how it got inside her, and the demon said when her dad, with her dad's seed.
Right, that's
like
right. So, yeah, no. And so once she spit out the crucifixion nails, I was like, okay, now this Michael dude, he has to believe that there's higher powers because he's looking at the nails. But nope, he's just like, she needs to be put on antidepressants.
She needs a psychiatrist.
Like, bitch, I would need antidepressants too if I was coughing up nails. Jesus Christ. So, scene keeps showing more of him as a kid and his story, and it turned out it was his mom on the slab. And
he's a kid at this time, and for you to be like preparing your own mother, that's got to be fucking traumatic.
Oh, for sure, yeah. He got traumatized and all sorts of screwed up. Let's see. So then we go to this next call that Obi-Wan Kenobi gets called on. This kid's having dreams of a mule kicking him. He woke up with hoof prints on him.
Bite marks.
And the priest was like, did your mom do it? And
he freaked out on her, too. He's like, you hit your boy?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he went full fucking Looney Magoo. So She said no. He said no, and he's like, "Did she do it?" Okay, and he rips the pillow or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
the
like,
kid's
bring
pillow.
me the boy's pillow.
And he finds a little. I thought it was a lizard, but I guess it was a frog. Yeah, because we saw him in the pond later, and he said it was the devil, and threw it into the fire. And he just chucked it in the fireplace.
And the whole time this is going on, the kid is creepily staring at Michael.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
They're just locked eyes with each other for like 5 minutes.
So, old frog got cooked, and then the next scene is him going back to the.
But the kid whispers something in his mom's ear, and we don't find out what that is till later. But it's pretty creepy.
I forgot what it even was. I guess I'll find out when we talk about it. So he goes back to Kenobi's place, and he finds a pond that has the same frogs that the priest found. So it's implied that the priest might be faking it, or that he thinks that because he's like,
think the kid was actually possessed. So
right.
He was trying to...
So then they get a call that the girl from earlier that was pregnant tried to drown herself. That's when it's revealed that her dad raped her, and the demon said she got possessed and pregnant through her father's seed, if I remember right. So it goes to her being in there for a little bit, and shows her on a monitor, and her O2 stats are 23. That means she's got hardly any blood oxygen level, and her BPM is 153. And then there was apparently cockroaches in her room, but I don't remember that.
Yep.
Okay.
She was tossing and turning in her sleep, and her eyes shot open, and there's cockroaches all over the hospital room.
Disgusting.
Which that hospital didn't look very sanitary anyway. So
that's fair. It wasn't haunted. It was just fucking disgusting. So it shows her ultrasound, and the baby has something happen to it. It looks like a shadow overcomes it or something and just envelops it. I don't know if the demon just grabbed it and ripped it apart. Anyway, she started bleeding heavily, and then she died. And
her baby both died.
So the priest's father, what's his name? Anthony Hopkins' character.
No, Father Lucas.
Father Lucas. I kept calling him Obi-Wan Kenobi because I couldn't remember his name. So Lucas, yeah, he's out there and starts crying his eyes out because he's like, "Oh, I failed." So then Michael gets a call that his dad had a stroke and was in a coma. Or wait, no, okay. Right, so he had a stroke, and then his dad came on the phone and was saying that... hold on. No, it comes after this. I don't know what this means. It says, Michael, dad had a stroke, could or couldn't make it out.
Yeah, his dad had a stroke, and he goes to the school guy, and he's like, we'll help you get home.
Right, he didn't die right away. That's what it is.
But,
okay.
Lo and behold... his room is full of frogs when he gets back.
That's right.
And then that volcano in Iceland erupts, so he can't fly home. Which, another little trivia bit, that's the same volcano that erupted in the 1940s that affected World War II quite a bit.
Oh, shit, really? Huh.
Air traffic and everything.
That's crazy. So, at this point, he goes to a hotel to get away from the frogs, and he calls to check on his dad.
Oh, and... the bracelet was on his door handle.
That's right. Okay. So, yeah, I almost forgot to take a note on that. So, let's see. So, bracelet was on the door handle. He calls to check on his dad, and they put him on hold. And while he's on hold, his dad picks up on the other side and says, "They're hurting me. They won't let me go," something like that.
I wish you were here.
Yeah. And then they come back from the hold, and they're like, we don't know how to tell you this, but he's been dead for 6 hours. And he's like, "That's impossible. I just talked to my dad." And and it's like, listen, fucko, he's deader than disco. So he goes outside and sees a black horse with red eyes. And
it's a mule.
Is it a mule?
The same, yeah.
Is it supposed to be...
the same one that the kid saw.
Okay. So
and it's all fucking winter outside. There's hoof prints on the ground. And...
right. And he starts calling for help, thinking he's hallucinating. And the priest at this point, he's starting to have a little problems in life, because There's this kid that asked to be blessed or whatever he did, and the priest comes and just smacks the shit out of him and knocks him down.
Oh my god, another part where I laughed. But before that, like, if you remember towards, like, the very first class that Michael's late for, they
Right.
tell you, like, signs of demon possession, and one of the very first signs is limbs trembling, and it shows Father Lucas's arm trembling.
That's a good point. I forgot about. I didn't make that connection. Yeah.
Then the girl walks up to him and was like, "Hello, mister." And he just fucking rears back and slaps the shit out of her, calls her a bitch, and steps off.
Yeah. Yeah. So he got possessed at this point. Was it a demon or the devil himself? Is what I was thinking at this point. Because I couldn't tell which way the movie was trying to go. I didn't know if it was like a high, powerful demon or
If
the
we
devil.
knew our demons well enough, we would have known
Fair.
way early.
So, the priest starts talking about Michael's dad and what time he died and how he died and all that. And he's like, "How did you know that?" And
That's where we find out what the kid whispered in his mom's ear.
what was it?
'Cause he's like, "What did he tell you?" And this was like a couple days before when the kid whispered.
Right.
He said that your dad was gonna die, and then he runs outside. How could he know that? And the girl catches up,
Huh.
and she's like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "My father died last night," and she's like, "What?"
You what, mate? So, I kind of skimped on my notes at this point because all I have are talk to his dad. I talked to him about when his dad died,
The
and
movie
then
was too intriguing.
and then how it ends. It was really good. So, oh god, this note's funny as fuck. So in between all that, there's this big battle to try and exorcise the priest and all that and the other. And
Is it the part I'm thinking? Because it's another hilarious part.
you go ahead and tell it because I don't have many notes on it, so I might forget a lot of it.
Michael still doesn't have faith and believe, and he's saying, "God commands you." And Father Lucas is like, "Oh, really? Does he? Cool, dude." And pushes him up
Right.
against the wall.
I never thought I'd hear Anthony Hopkins in my life say "cool, dude."
It was just, "Oh, really? Awesome, cool, dude."
So the next part that I have in the notes is how this kind of concludes. Michael accepted God and was able to exorcise the old man because he found out the demon's name. And at first I misheard it and I thought he said Paul. I thought that, but it was Ball.
Major demon.
Yeah, I thought it was fucking Paul. I was like, what kind of name is that for a demon? So it was Ball. I don't know how you spell that.
Baal.
Okay. I changed that in my notes because I put Baul. So then the movie from here takes a sharp decline, in my opinion. I feel like it just went from this crazy epic thing to like this really flat, monotone, like the war is over, I must be on, and he just leaves. That's it. He just talks to people and he's like, "I got my faith back now." They're not British. I don't know what's wrong with this, but
Yeah.
he's like, "I got Jesus in my heart." So he heads off on a bicycle or some shit, and that was the end of the movie, pretty much. Unless
Pretty
I'm
much. Well, it had the Michael Kovac lives in Chicago, and he's done so-and-so exorcisms still to this day.
right. There's only like,
Father Lucas has done 2,000.
well, didn't it say there was only like 1,000 or 2,000 exorcists in the
14.
whole world?
14.
There's only 14. That's
Yeah.
right. That blew me away. There's only 14 people in the whole world who do exorcisms. No,
United States.
is it the United States?
I think
Okay.
that's what's in it.
Because if it was the whole world, I was like, that's why everything's so fucked. They can't handle the workload. So I'm gonna go ahead and give my rating on this first, and let AJ go second. Because I feel like we probably gave it the same rating. I don't know why. I just have that feeling.
Do you?
I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars or 7.5 out of 10 rating.
Okay, well, another thing about the end of the movie is it has the, like, true or whatever says he's living in Chicago.
Right.
It's not even the guy's real name. It's Gary Thomas and everything, but he lives in San Jose, not Chicago.
Oh.
And I don't know if Father Lucas is supposed to be the guy's actual name or not.
Right.
Yeah, Ball. If we knew our demons hardcore like a freak, we would have known as soon as we saw the frog that it was Ball.
And I'm surprised you didn't know because you're so up on like spooky hooky shit. I'm not versed on any of it.
Yeah, Ball apparently has the power of invisibility when he's possessing someone.
Huh.
And he can appear as a cat.
Oh, that's why he saw the black cat.
Well, all the cats.
Well, that too, but black cat with the bad luck.
And
Quote
he
unquote.
can appear as a toad or human, and sometimes when he's fucking Megazord ball, I guess, he has the head of each and the body of a spider or something.
I like that name for it. That's great.
But yeah, my rating, I gave it a 7 out of 10.
We were close. I mean, I would definitely watch it again. Like I said, the only thing bad for me was the ending because it just felt like it went flat. It felt like you were at a rock concert, and all of a sudden everyone's equipment got unplugged, so you were just hearing ting ting chick, 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 instead of actual stuff in the amplifiers.
It's like those videos on YouTube. The what is it? The without only instruments.
Oh
like
yeah,
the Elvis one. He's like,
right.
ting, ting,
Shit. Oh, so yeah. My final thoughts on this movie. It was great. Great actors, great music, great lighting, great atmosphere, great everything. The toads were great. The toad getting chucked in the fire, beautiful. It was cuisine. The fucking kid getting slapped by Anthony Hopkins. He put some real power of Jesus into that slap. That's about all I have to say about the movie. What about you?
That's all, folks.
Get the fuck out. So, it's your turn to pick the next movie we watch.
We've talked about this, Michael.
We have, but I want you to tell the people. I want you to say it out of your little slut lips.
Don't talk about my DSLs.
Pardon me, Padre.
Yeah, I don't really have DSLs, by the way. So, anyway,
Don't be thirsty.
we'll be watching it during March. This won't. Well, the first one might be out in March. but
Right, with the first 2 or 3 movies or whichever, how many we put on the first podcast
We're gonna
of
do
it.
the Leprechaun franchise.
I'm pretty excited for it because I've only seen the first 3, and what are there?
Oh, so the good ones.
There's like 700.
Yeah, literally 4. Then the Hood movies are garbage.
I can't wait to get drunk and high and watch them and laugh.
And then there's Origins, I believe it's the same universe, but I've never seen that.
Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. If you have not seen the Rite, R-I-T-E, go on and see it. Oh, by the way,
Well, now we'll wait.
it's in the title, but spoiler warning. I know you've already heard the entire movie, but if you haven't seen the movie yet, come back and watch this again. But if you've seen the Rite, let us know in the comments what you think about it. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you have any movie recommendations for us on ones you really like of horror movies, let us know. Maybe we'll get to them. Maybe we're going to fight about it. But with that, we're out of here. Let's go get drunk and smoke some cigars.
All right, now.
All right, everybody. Take care of y'all, each others, and selves and such. Bye.